Italian Wine Podcast. Chin Chin with Italian wine people.
Welcome to another episode of On the Road Edition, hosted by Stevie Kim. Join her as she continues her conversation with winery owner Giacomo Neri at the beautiful family-run winery Casanova di Neri in Montalcino, Tuscany. Listen in as they talk about the winemaking, the labels, the terroir, as well as their recent 50th anniversary celebrations.
So would you say your signature wine is this one right here? Which one is most represents you?
All. No, for me are different. I love the Cerretalto, Tenuta Nova, White Label in the same way, Steve. There is no difference.
No, but which one is okay, I know they're all like your children, right? I know. I speak to many winemakers and every single wine is like their own children, right? And when you have children, you can't say one is my favorite, right? But which one is most representative, your signature wine, if you had to choose?
Big question.
I can't believe no one ever asked you this before. Probably this one.
Probably Tenuta Nova, because Tenuta Nova started from zero. It has been new vineyard, new project, new estate. Probably Tenuta Nova, but White Label, Cerretalto, same. Tenuta Nova is more close because started from the land.
Okay, let's taste the wine.
Please. Tenuta Nova 17.
Okay.
The new vintage.
So this is out in the market now.
Now. We started to release last January.
In January, just now. So this is the new
vintage.
How was this vintage?
Well, 17.
The harvest.
The harvest 17 has been hard.
So it wasn't like the 15.
Well, 15 has been a very, very good vintage. Yeah. And 17, the summer has been very dry and hot. But I am proud about 17 Tenuta Nova and also 17 White Label because we produce, the production go down about 30%, but Steve, the quality, the freshness, big surprise. Our experience, the terroir of the vineyards, because the root of our plants go underground a lot, more of 2 meters and 50 centimeters. And 17, summer very dry, hot, but production go down, but quality very good. It's not great vintage, sure. It's not 16, it's not 15, but I am proud to say in Casanova di Neri, Tenuta Nuova, in the medium vintage, or in French, I like Pt.2, 17, 13, 09, 08, you can drink wonderful Tenuta Nova wine. Not only in the great vintages, but in the Pt.2 vintages. I repeat again, I drank last night Tenuta Nuova 05, Pt.2. Big satisfaction.
Right.
Great, very, very good
And
wine.
how long can this wine age? How many years?
Age potential?
Yeah, age potential.
Well, the vintage like 10, 6, 16, more of 25. Vintage like 05, you can drink now in the best time. 05 is 17 years old. 04, vintage still young now.
When was your first vintage?
My first vintage without my father has been 91.
91.
This year is 30, 2020.
When was his first vintage? 81? No.
My father first vintage Brunello 78.
78.
78. The first vintage of Ceretalto 81 and first vintage of Tenuta Nuova 17.
Okay, let's open.
Please, it will be. I hope in the glass you can find my speech.
How about the harvest this year? How did it go?
Very, very good. The pandemic harvest 2021, 2020, very, 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 really very, very good quality. Quantity small.
Small quantity.
Both 2020 and 2021, Steve. Very strong quality. Strong
But
quality.
did you have frost?
Frost, both frost.
Okay.
2020 and 2021, frost. In the past, the frost was not so constant like now. Very, very often there is the frost. I don't know why, but I hope in 20. No, I don't speak. No, it's better. Don't say nothing.
You're superstitious.
Evito. Steve, Tenuta Nuova, Casanova di Neri, 17. The best way is open I suggest all the Casanova di Neri Brunellos. Open the bottle 3-5 hours before.
3-5 hours before.
It's much better.
We can come back in 3-5 hours.
I wait for you. It will be my pleasure. And 17, the freshness.
Yeah.
Okay, but in the palate, good
But
acidity.
when is its optimal time to drink this one, 17? I mean, you can definitely drink it now, obviously, right? But
Well, my idea, my concept is in Casanova di Brunello, you can drink after 5 years, but if you age 15 years, it will be better. It is
so you
our
think 15 years is kind of, that's where it's at its prime.
Depend of the vision, Tasha. 15, 25. But, I repeat again, for my idea, if you open the bottle 3-5 hours before, you can drink it very well now. Plums, eucalyptus, rosemary. Typical of Tenuta Nuova. Typical expression of Tenuta Nuova.
Yeah, it's delicious now, even if it's not 3-5 hours.
Steve, in 5 hours, 3 hours will be there.
But listen, what is your, I don't know, how is your wine, Brunello, different from Biondi Santi?
Well, Biondi Santi for me is a totem. It's the history of the Brunello, the history of Italian quality wine. And I believe I believe are different, but both great expression, and you can know very well in the glass. In the front there is Casanova di Neri, in the other glass there is the Biondi Santi. I believe today is very important also this. The wine, you can know the personality, you can understand.
But in a blind tasting, okay, it's blind, you would be able to tell your wine immediately?
Sure.
Okay, so in a blind tasting, you have two wines, you have Biondi Santi, you have your wine. What is the difference in blind tasting? How would you say, like, this is definitely my
The
wine?
tannins, the bouquet, the acidity is different. I don't drink so often Biondi Santi. I drank more when the old vintages of Franco. But I love to drink also other Brunello producer. Normally we make with our cellar team blind tasting of 25, 30 Brunello producer. And for the Brunello I prefer, normally I know very well in the blind testing where there is the personality. For me, Steve, the personality of the wine is so important like the quality. Because a good wine now is minimum, but in the Brunello the personality of the estate, the cellar, the vineyard is very important.
But you know, when did you start making wine? When did you start working with your father?
After the military service, 87.
87. So
86, 87.
yes, so 87, 86. Since then, has the winemaking style changed, evolved? Because mostly it was your dad, right? And now you took over.
Well, in some way change today, but in some way don't change so much. Today there is more attention, more in the vineyards, in the cellar, more clean. The use of the barrels, the dimension, the type of the barrels, the origin, fermentation time, pigeage, pamper over, a lot of things. But Steve, in the reality, there is different, but not so different. I believe that there is more attention in the vineyards, in the agronomist process.
So the vineyard management is much more sophisticated,
Today,
right?
yes, we
And
control more.
And also
more
technologically, it's
Yes.
a lot more advanced.
Also the production,
Yeah.
the quantity, the leaf, a lot more attention.
Have you increased the production since I don't know, 1988 or whatever?
Yes, we increase the production.
Because you become more efficient. So what is that? You have 4 wines, right? 3 single vineyards.
Now there will next year, big news. Next year there will be another single vineyard Brunello.
Oh, so is this breaking news?
Four.
So
It's news.
this is breaking news. What is it going to be called?
We bought another great vineyard location in southeast of Montalcino, close Sant'Antimo Abbey.
Oh, this near Sant'Antimo.
7 hectares, 50 years old. The plants, so long. And next
So
year,
they're old vines.
old vines, old 50 years old, Steve. 400 meters the altitude. And next year there will be the Brunello Casanova di Neri, 18 Giovanni Neri. I call it Giovanni Neri for
Giovanni.
the 50th anniversary.
Because your father,
Yes.
right?
We bought these vineyards in the 2018. The 18 Brunello will be released, the first vintage bottled will be released next year in 2023. But it's another great expression, unique about Casanova di Neri, Sangiovese.
So it's going to be called Giovanni Neri.
I call it Giovanni, we decide to call it Giovanni Neri for the celebration.
They're going to think it's your son.
Yes, the same. But Steve is another, for me, I am very proud. It was the only vineyards we can buy in Montalcino because the level of Tenuta Nuova, Cerretalto.
And what is the total volume production?
Today we produce from the Rosso di Montalcino to the Brunello, Cerretalto, 300,000 bottles.
And you have how many labels in total?
9 labels.
9 labels.
I am a little crazy.
Yeah. Including Giovanni Neri.
Including Giovanni Neri.
How many Brunello producers are there here in
I
Montalcino?
believe today there are 250, more or less, I don't know.
And you are like you're considered medium or large producer of Brunello?
Well, my idea, for me, I am small, for my mind.
Right.
But
No, but you're not
I
tiny.
don't know.
Yeah, I think you must be at least medium.
For family-run business, we are big, I believe. We are not, it is Casanova di Neri is a family-run business. And I believe for family-run business today, but it's not for me, it's not the dimension, it's the quality. It's not the quantity. My idea is quality, not quantity.
So how many more years are you going to work before you retire? Because now Giovanni and Gian Lorenzo, they're taking over, right?
Steve, I am very proud. Many years ago, for produce Casanova di Neri wines, the experience about vineyards and cellar is very important. And I think if I pass it, it's possible in the life. The experience for produce this wine cannot repeat. I am very happy today. My sons know, the cellar team know, but I love this wine. I love this job. I work in wonderful country.
Yeah, you live here as well.
I live in the state. Yeah. I live over the cellar, and I work in the vineyards, in the natural. I can go all around the world before the pandemic, and there is not a better job for me in the life. It's my life. I don't think about retirement because it's
all right,
life.
Let's drink to no retirement. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming. My big pleasure to see you today.
And next time there must be electricity so we can.
Today no electricity.
Yeah, there was a blackout. There was a huge storm yesterday, so.
Last night, when there is the storm, no electricity,
Right.
but it is a big problem. I hope change in the future.
Okay, great. All right, thank you,
Thank you
Giacomo.
again.
And
Thank you.
good luck to you.
Thanks.
And that's a wrap for this episode of On the Road Edition, hosted by Stevie Kim. Join us again next time, right here on Mama Jumbo Shrimp, for more amazing interviews and wine content. And remember, you can also find us on Instagram. Just visit @MamaJumboShrimp, or to find tons more wine content, visit Italian Wine Podcast on SoundCloud or wherever you get your pods. Chin chin.